toy.
I'm kind of curious, both of you lived in Louisiana on the Bayou.
Right. Yeah.
What is that like?
It's freaking backwoods.
It's
horrible.
What is the environment like? Because I just imagine swampy, but I don't think that's accurate.
No, that is accurate.
Is it?
That is
We actually grew up like 45 minutes apart,
right,
which is crazy.
It's nuts. It's funny too because whenever I moved up here, so my hometown is Houma, Louisiana. Glenn, I know that you know where Houma is. Jason, probably not.
No.
But so like it's easier to just say New Orleans, right? And then I would be like, actually, I'm from south of New Orleans, and then people would be like, there's something south of New Orleans.
I said that to Glenn. Like, wait, something more south than that?
Yeah. So I'm convinced, and then Glenn, you could probably back me up on this, that Houma, Louisiana is your last stop before you technically get like down the bayou.
Yes,
It is. That's the stop before the primary mode of transportation goes from automobiles to pirogues. So
Well, you have to explain what a pirogue is because people probably don't know what it is.
it's a canoe-ish.
Right.
It's just like a very specific type of boat that maneuvers around the bayous and small.
I really
bayous
hope
and
somebody's not cutting their grass right
Doing
now.
something over there.
Oh, it's my freaking neighbor.
Cutting something.
Josh, how long are you gonna be? All right.
I hope that makes the podcast.
We leave all that stuff in.
We leave all the stuff in,
Leave
but
that in.
I really think people enjoy the naturalness of the podcast.
Yeah, I love that. So, but yeah, like, and so I had met, obviously met both of you guys through the Facebook page, the Star Wars Collectors Facebook page for Georgia, and there was something I had posted or I reacted to something, and then Glenn was the first person to comment, and I'm like, who's this Glenn guy? And I click on his profile, and I see that he's from like 2 towns over from me. I'm like, wait a minute, this is from Louisiana too? And then 6 months later, he brought home a king cake for me. So,
Yeah. Houma was the town where we went to for not parties, but we wanted to go to the mall.
Mhm.
We wanted to go to watch a movie. It's not like it is up here where you're like, let me pick up my phone and figure out where I want to go. What time? Well, first let me figure out what time I want to go. Then I can pick where I want to go. It's a day to go to the mall or to go to the movies, or it's not an easy task.
Which in Houma, that was a one-stop shop because the movie theater was in Southland Mall.
Oh, Southland Mall.
Whenever I say Southland Mall, or whenever I say a mall, it is nothing like the malls up here. Like, all the malls up here are large, 2-story. Like, this was a very, small, one-level mall, no food court, and it was in the shape of an L. It's still there,
Right.
and it's still open, and I'm fairly certain that the Corn Dog 7 that is in that mall is the last Corn Dog 7 in existence.
That was the food court, was the Corn Dog 7
Yeah.
and the popcorn stand.
Yep.
That's what you had.
So is it like really out in the middle of nowhere, out in the middle of a swamp?
It's surrounded by swamp land, and I mean, there's a major bayou that runs like right down the middle of Houma. It's also, it's an interstate and then 2 state highways to get from I-10. Yeah, so it's probably a good hour from New Orleans proper.
Yeah.
What's it like to collect in a
I
small town?
didn't collect in a small town.
I remember buying a lot of stuff in the 90s. Like, I was really big into the 90s X-Men stuff. And the one toy store, which was the KB Toys, that was in the town, or not town center, but Southland Mall, would get a large portion of stuff. And things were pretty plentiful, but also the state of collecting was something that was so different in 94 and 95 than it is today. So, I mean, I would say it's easy, but they were just mass producing those things, it seems.
Right. Well, I also remember the first time I walked into Toys R Us. At 10 years old, you walk in and you're just like, oh crap.
Was it the one in Metairie?
I don't know.
Okay, because that was the first one I went to.
But I was old enough to remember it, so I was pretty old the first time. But the first time I've been in one. But it's the Walmarts and it's the KB Toys and the little bit. I remember always having Star Wars, and when He-Man came out, I was like, I want that.
Yeah.
Santa Claus brought me He-Man. But
So I will say this to kind of answer the question was I actually had to make an emergency trip down to Louisiana in September, and when I was there I was like, well, now that the fires are put out, I'm gonna go and check out this Walmart. And this was the middle of September of last year, and all the Masters of the Universe Origin figures had just come out, and they weren't up here. I couldn't find any of them. I walked into the Walmart there, and they had 4 pegs full, and I couldn't wrap my head around it because I thought, oh, maybe they just got their shipment, and then I came back up here and then still nothing. But I grabbed them when I saw them, so because I'm like, I know what the state of modern collecting is, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there just aren't collectors down there, or what? I don't know.
Right. To echo what you're saying, as a grown up going back, I'd always check the stores because the people down there just don't collect.
Mm.
So you could still find stuff at Walmart.
Wow. It's the promised land.
Yeah.
Home of Louisiana.
Yeah.
No, I don't think anyone's ever called it the promised land.
I know. But I mean,
that's where you gotta go. Listen to the Smugglers Galaxy podcast every Tuesday wherever you download your podcast. This is the way.